What's up guys, Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review. Today, a Jazlatte VOD review. If you guys haven't seen Jazlatte before, he plays on the Taiwanese server, is usually way up there. He was rank 1 earlier in the set. I think he's sitting at rank 5 right now. I know, what a noob. And he dropped a pretty nice scoreline on stream, 3.0 AVP. I mean, that's a beautiful scoreline. Also kind of a little pattern there, 4-3, 4-3, 1-5, 1-3. In any case, Jazlatte, just a great player to watch, and he played a comp today that I kind of just want to learn, because I have 0 reps on this comp, but it's a line that I think is growing in power. People are kind of realizing, wait a minute, like this is actually a line that I can play into. People are kind of realizing after the first few days of the patch that the patch it's opening up quite nicely. There are more and more lines you can play. We talked about the AMP line earlier. There's, that as far as a reroll line. Appies, I'd love to do a VOD of him playing Slayer, this kind of like vertical Slayer setup, playing around Zed. That's another line that's really opening up that maybe I'll do a VOD of that tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, just he's been Spicy Appy's been a big advocate of that. So go check out his channel. He's been putting out a lot of good stuff recently. All right. First augment here. I mean, you want to take the +2 gold augment, but +2 gold, not insane. I mean, I don't really think we're that hyped for strategist or the tiniest titans here. Not really. I mean, you could certainly, I would be excited about playing this quality over quantity. We have a Morello or a Sunfire that we can slam already and then build into other stuff here. So like Morello and then build like tank item and then build damage item here is what I would be looking at for quality over quantity. I love that line, but we'll see. I mean, we do have to look at our other options, and wow, we're just gonna take the Prismatic Prelude here from Jazlatte. Says it's +2 gold, so why not? And I mean, we don't have like an insane opener, so we can just kind of chill on this board for a sec. Yeah, I mean, Prismatic Prelude, an augment that, I mean, in the past, it was, giga broken. Like this was the augment that you would like always take in previous patches, and I mean, really sets at this point. But since then, it's definitely been nerfed. It definitely feels pretty awkward to take this. Wow, and he's actually going to pre-level up to level 4 after winning that fight. He can now fit in. Ooh, and this is an interesting idea from him, but I think it makes a decent amount of sense here. I'm pretty surprised, actually, that this is his call. Instead of Street Demon on this board, we are going to fit just the Elise Morgana. Elise Morgana, I mean, fantastic just in TFT now, in general. This Morgana unit was already okay, and as we've talked about many a time, she's gotten super buffed. Elise is definitely not a unit that you really want to be carrying like late game, but as an early game item carry, this Elise unit is fantastic. So yeah, this looks pretty good from an opener perspective, and I mean, he thinks it's even better than the kind of like God opener, which is, I mean, it's not necessarily that crazy of an opener, the Street Demon setup, but it is really crazy in that, like, I want to play Street Demon because Street Demon is really good. It's like the best just default comp in the game. And so kind of surprising that he decides to say, you know what, we're gonna go off the beaten path here, and we're going to play around this other opener, which is obviously still very good, the Dynamos. But it's not quite Street Demon, which, I mean, it's just in the current world that we're in, anytime you're getting rid of Street Demon units, I feel like that's definitely worth mentioning. All right, we have the Morello, we have Sword plus Chain open still right here. So we could start looking at AP items. If we want to just play a straight up AP setup, we could take that Chojin, but it's gone now. Could go for like a Gargoyle here off the Twisted Fate. I can't, if he slams BT here, I'm going to freak out because that would be a very weird slam. But I mean, this looks like a Gargoyle to me. We can just get another Divinicore and yeah, make the Gargoyle chill on this board for a while, wait for our pairs to get paired up. It's also kind of interesting. I mean, not really, but he decided to itemize the Elise over the Morgana. Obviously, Elise 1 is going to be better than Morgana 1 in almost all circumstances. But I'm curious, if we do end up getting that Morgana 2, are we interested in spending an entire remover to move items over to her? I probably would, just because I rate this Morgana unit so highly. I can't imagine that we're gonna make gold here. Yeah, I mean, you lose 2 really important pairs by making gold here. But I guess the other thing, back to the Prismatic Prelude. So we're coming to the end of the stage. We're gonna get our Prismatic Prelude soon. I feel like people tend to take this augment when they're interested in playing like artifact lines, just because you have decent odds of getting an artifact anvil out of the cash out. So, people used to take this last set, you'd cash this out into a rapid fire cannon Nocturne and say, GG's, nice job. And then you have a really easy game from there. And there's still a ton of fantastic artifact lines here. And it looks kind of that like Jazlatte is just playing super flex in this spot. He makes the Gargoyle, he makes the Morello, any comp can use a Gargoyle and a Morello. You know, we're not locked into any kind of line at this point, and we're really just waiting to see what our Prismatic Prelude cash out is, and then we can kind of figure out where we're going. You see, we're holding onto like Vhagar. I mean, imagine we get out a Minimization from this Prismatic Prelude. Okay, then we can play towards the Vhagar. Imagine we get a Spectral Cutlass. We could play towards Nefiri, though. It'll be a bit of a pivot to get there, but I mean, he's got the Yumis. He does get up onto the... Okay, so he gets his tier and then he gets his cash out. This is Radiant item here. He also has a lot of tiers here. I mean, maybe I'm too, like, Nefiri, or, yeah, like, too Nefiri pilled after watching people play it a bit. But, I mean, honestly, you have the blue buff. You could play towards a Nefiri plus Yumi game here. But we're not going to go for it. We're going to make... So, yeah, like, you kind of have to decide here. Like, what do we actually want to... You have to, like... decide on an angle here. You could make blue buff and play towards some kind of blue buff line. There's not really one outside of AMP, and obviously because we didn't hold on to the Yumi, we're not interested in playing towards that line. We also just don't have a lot of the pieces. We don't have like Nidalee 2 and stuff like that, so it's gonna be hard to reach there. You could also just make blue buff and play into some of these more like, you know, Vex lines, Annie lines, both, you know, use blue buff very nicely, go for like a blue buff Nashers and play towards those lines. Only downside, I mean, then we have the sword open to find Gunblade later. It's not actually, like, that's not what Jazlatte goes for here, though. We take this belt here, and yeah, we make the Redemption here, which leans our items. Still AP, right? It's pretty awkward to play, like, AD from this spot, but yeah, he's gonna make the Radiant Redemption here, and then pop the full Anvil and make Warmogs here, and just make the Giga Mundo here. I don't actually know. I'm down to do a quick stats check here, actually, on Radiant Redemption, because I have... Where does this... Absolution 4.26, so pretty middle of the pack, like almost smack dab in the middle there. I mean, Radiant Redemption, so what's the upside? And we can actually read out its Radiant bonus, because like if you give me a pop quiz, what is the Radiant bonus on Absolution? No clue. It extends the range, so it's 2 hexes and it's 25% of missing HP, so heals a ton off this Radiant Absolution here. I mean, this makes me think that, I mean, when you take something like an Absolution, you want to heal a bunch of really, really beefy tanks. And, you know, what's a board with a ton of beefy tanks? I mean, we'll see. We'll see when we get there. But that's just something I would say to keep in mind here. I mean, none of these options. I mean, Rolling for Days is a great option. The problem is just, like, we're not going to be able to really use the rolls now. It doesn't really look like we're playing any kind of reroll angle. I don't like Diversified Portfolio very much. And I don't love Glass Cannon, but, I mean, maybe it's an option out of these. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's our best option from these. I don't love the Augment a ton, especially if we do end up playing towards some kind of, like, it makes playing towards Vex more awkward, I guess is the thing, because you're not going to be overhealing her very much, which is Vex something we want to play for? Ooh, the rigged shop here. Okay, this is starting to get quite woke here. We're going to make the Shiv here. We have Shiv Morello here with the rigged shop. So we get our free refreshes. I mean, it's still, I mean, 5 free refreshes is nothing to sneeze at. And then this is also going to allow us to find some 3 costs. I mean, I would think it was Elise reroll if this Elise reroll comp I thought was actually good, but I don't think it's very good. I do think Elise 3 just needs some buffs, honestly. He's going to start team planning it out here. So yeah, Bruiser is going to go onto the board here. And he's throwing Fiddlesticks in like we're, I mean, yeah, honestly, like we're going to play a Fiddlesticks game. I mean, we have Morello Shiv. I mean, this is a crazy line, I would say. I mean, just from the Radiant Absolution, it must be that, I mean, we could stats. I mean, I would stats check it, like 6 Bruiser, Radiant Absolution. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the world's smallest sample size. Like, how many people have played 6 Bruiser, Radiant Absolution? So I don't think we can actually think too much about that. There is a Cho'Gath on the board, which would be really big to pick up. And I mean, just team plannering out the oh, and we don't get it. That's actually quite tragic. I don't know this, and then we can make like a GS down the line if we have to. But I mean, yeah, team plannering out that board. It doesn't surprise me that we want to play around Bruisers. It does surprise me a bit that we're still considering Fiddlesticks from this angle, because I do think it's gonna be quite awkward to get to Fiddle, but I do think it makes a lot of sense to play around a Bruiser front line in this setup, and we're gonna roll a little bit. We do end up picking up the Elise too. That'll stabilize us a bit. I mean, this is such a nice kind of like flex game. Just play around the Elise, play the best, and yeah, we're just gonna make full GS onto this Elise here. Just slam the items that make sense in our spot. But yeah, like when you take Radiant Absolution, you want units with a ton of HP. You're healing them up an insane amount with Absolution here, so you might as well, you know, get a ton of Bruisers that are going to be healed that much. So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. The question is just, what do we play with the Bruisers? Because, yeah, he's still thinking of this Fiddle angle. And I don't really believe in fiddlesticks with these items with GS Shiv Morello. It seems very awkward. We have 0 Archangels, which tends to be Fiddle's kind of core item that you care about. So I'm curious to see where exactly we go from here, because this is an odd spot, I will say, for Mr. Jazlatte here. But upside is we finished this stage off with a win streak. Hitting those 2 stars with our rerolls was really big. We do get to 6th Elise here, so once again, you could look at Elise reroll. The only downside is I don't like Elise reroll that much, but I mean, if you just stumble into an Elise 3, can't be too bad. And I mean, this is such a cool line. All right, we get the new Salvager item. This allows you to break apart your unit and turn their items into whatever you want. I mean, that actually seems really, really nice from the perspective of we could actually make Fiddlesticks items now if we want to. We have just 1 rod amongst all of our items. We pick up the Urgot here, which is big just to get something onto our board, just a boombot on the board because we did not find the Cho'Gath here. We're trying to figure out how we are going to finish our items here. Up to make the... Wait, we reforged that? What happened? Yeah, we reforged. We made he made Gargoyle plus Cloak and reforged this, just saying we need damage, right? We have 2 supportive items in this spot here. We're going to be in a really bad spot here if we actually just make something like a Declaw and then, like, I don't know, a Vow or something like that. We're just going to have no damage, especially just because we hit Urgot here. Like, ideally, we could actually itemize this guy. So we're going to reforge, end up getting Static Shiv here, which is really rough. But then he breaks apart the Static Shiv, and now he has blue buff as an option. I mean, I kind of feel like we should have broken apart the other setup that we had. This would just give us more options, but I mean, I guess he says, I know what I want here. This is also, I mean, it's not bad luck protection. I'm surprised he doesn't even roll that first. Yeah, okay. And then he finds Spirit Links here, which is another just way to make our Super Bruiser frontline even tankier. Going to move blue buff, i.e. Last Whisper over to this Urgot, and those are going to be his items. Picks up a Vex down along the way, who is probably going to be the ideal holder for this blue buff. Kind of swap around, some of these items we have. Yeah, we do have Remover here, so we can move blue buff to her if we want to. He's not going to do it just yet, but I have to imagine that's going to be his game plan later. Yeah, I mean, he could double Remover, or maybe he just really likes his blue buff on the Urgot to get him casting instantly. But now we've kind of pivoted into the board that I actually, want to talk about, which is... It was a weird way to get there, but this is kind of Bruiser Flex playing oftentimes around this Vex unit. This is the line that I think made the most sense from our spot, though obviously it's a bit of a weird way for us to get there, and we'll now pivot into 6 Bruiser. So this is what I would say is kind of like the default of the comp, 6 Bruiser plus backline. Oftentimes it's Vex plus an Executioner. Obviously Urgot is the best one because he's also a Boombot, but if you low roll onto Urgot, you can always pick up something else, like just throw a random Varus onto your board. There's also ideas of playing 6 Bruiser, and then playing an Aphelios as your duo carry. That Aphelios can then hold items for this Urgot, because I do think this is kind of like max cap. You get Divinicor and you get Boombot. Like, this is what you want to be playing for. And then the dream later is to play for more 5 costs on this board, because this board can use so many 5 costs so well. It is a Vex on Carousel. I mean, we'll definitely take that if we given the opportunity. Oh, this is 2 carousels in a row where Jazlatte was just 1 person off of getting the perfect item here. All right, he continues to roll down here. What are these shops, man? Missed Fiddlesticks 10 star. That's actually so tough. But we do finally get the Gumblade for Vex. I'm surprised we're not looking at moving blue buff over. And yeah, I mean, am I crazy? I'm really not that good at Urgot itemization. I will say I have not played around this unit that much, but blue buff on Urgot, is this just like Gigabyss Urgot? And I haven't, I mean, the stats look fantastic on it. Wow, looks like one of his best items. If we say that we're a 3 item Urgot, and then just sort by Delta. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely up there. It's around the realm of stuff like Guardbreaker, Deathblade. Interesting, huh? I mean, at the end of the day, you're playing an Urgot. It's getting his first cast off pretty quickly. He is a 40 mana unit. I mean, the problem is that I feel like he mana lot, like his cast lasts so long that, like, I feel like you're not that excited about blue buff on him, because like you have to, like Vex, you're blue buffing, and then she's got like this Urgot this entire time here. He's stuck mana locked while he gets that extra like effect with his, I mean, what his entire ability is essentially. So I imagine you'd prefer blue buff on Vex, but he's just keeping it there. I mean, I think his thought is that I can't really move the rest of the items, though. I mean, Shiv can go anywhere. You don't really need Shiv on the Vex, and that's still there, right? It's an interesting setup, but. Oh yeah, he did move. Oh yeah, he moved Shiv up to Mordekaiser. He wanted the Morello, and then his idea is I can't move GS to Urgot because I'm not sure actually. I guess he just wants the casting ability. My Yeah, my thought would be swap the GS and the blue buff here, but I mean, he's Jazlatte, so he can't be wrong. But yeah, this is our board. It's Bruiser Flex here. We have all of these augments that really want us to play Bruisers and just make this huge front line. We have the Gunblade healing up the Bruisers, which is not bad. It's not as good as it would be, you know, if you had like 6 Bastion frontline with Vex, because you want resists with Gunblade, but I mean, it's still fine. You're healing up these Bruisers. This Urgot is doing so much damage, by the way. Another a first Archangels here, and that's pair of 4s, right? Yeah, I mean, that looks actually insanely good if it is pair of 4s. So many items have this, or yeah, so many augments just have like very similar, like kind of little icon, so it's a little bit tough. But yeah, now he's gonna finally move stuff around. Only awkward thing is this Mordekaiser itemization. Morello plus Shiv onto the Mordekaiser is he's kind of cosplaying as a backliner, but at least we have this huge Gragas who is tanking for us. And I mean, every single time that we get our augment trigger here, we do have potential to hit extra stuff. We do find Garen here, which is, it starts to get very tempting. I honestly would probably fit Garen Viego on this board. He's gonna fit just the Garen. I mean, that's a blunder. I mean, certainly we should just cut out another Bruiser here, but Garen really nice on this board. There are so many things that you can go for. I mean, you can go for Boombot, which is always just Boombot +1 on a unit is just an insane amount of damage amp. If you have other frontliners, you can, you know, put Bruiser onto them. So, you know, those are the ones that you're really excited about. If we do end up getting stuff like, you know, Techie, or I mean, had we played the Viego, we would have Golden Ox as another potential thing that we could get in on the board. And yeah, this is now what he's going to pivot into. And oh yeah, this is another kind of idea that you can think about in this comp where, ooh, we're gonna do this and then just fit the Morgana in there. You can look for 4 Boombot, though we can't really play it right now. That's really just with +1. But we find the Vex 2, which is really what we've been hoping for this entire time. Still, by the way, just, I mean, it's not a bad spot, especially like now that we hit this Cho'Gath too. My God, look at him go. So Vex 2, Cho 2, that really stabilized us. And honestly, I still don't think the spot for Jazlatte looks that amazing. He does find that was Boombot +1, right? Boombot +1. It's, I think the number's 37% damage amp on the unit, because it's for every 400 damage you do an extra 150 damage as magic damage. And so, I mean, it's, if you frame it that way, which I don't think is an unfair framing of it, I mean, that is just straight up what it is. 37% damage amp is insane. Now, I think I've yapped enough about this, but yeah, I mean, it's just Boombot from the God of the Net is just so gross here. We do finally lose to actually an AMP board, the comp that we VOD reviewed yesterday. I mean, yeah, that board is just going up so much in value. We have Shiv, we have Morello, so we don't need to look for that stuff. I mean, even just Urgot here would not be bad. Can't grab it, so I mean, we could go for just random last item onto Mord. The adaptive helm I think is solid enough, and yeah, I mean, we're just gonna throw that on there. And we also kind of sad that we had to give up on the Gragas, just because, like, I mean, we really just weren't hitting. Like, we're looking around the lobby. It's really like there weren't that many out, but I mean, it's just Gragas. I mean, he is a little bit of a contested unit. Other people playing Vexotech, stuff like that. So yeah. Also, just note the positioning. We're keeping Vex in the middle so that she can get as much AoE off as possible. We are rotating into a Koboko 2 here, so I'd be surprised if our board beat this, though it's pretty close. Absolution Cho? Oh my God. He actually smurfed there. Almost 8,000 damage from the Cho, tanking all of that. Oh my God. I mean, that was insane. Actually, that was just straight up insane. I actually just want to go back. The board that we fought here, I mean, so they're double econ augment, so that's the downside to their spot. Koboko 2, Samira 2, Brand 2, Ziggs 2, Garen 2. We beat this board. I mean, that is a good show for this comp, I will say. Just the 4 Bruiser board with the 2-star of our 4 costs. What a great comp for this pair of 4s. It's not called pair of 4s, the one where you have to have 2 4 costs on your board. What a great comp for this augment as well, because yeah, I mean, you play the Vex, you play the Cho'Gath, and then you add 5 costs to your board, and you play a bunch of other Bruisers that are lower cost. Like, it's so easy. This board actually, they do have the damage because they have a Zeri 3, so I don't think we are going to win the lobby. How did that player even get to Zeri 3? I completely missed that while I was yapping about everything else. I don't even know. Just rolling for days? Fire sale? I mean, Zeri obviously, and only 152 stat cash out as well. I mean, it's not like they got some giant cash that they gave them 1 million gold, but okay. I mean, this is honestly a pretty good spot to be in, considering that player exists. Executioner, Divinicore, Techie. Oh, is he going to go for Techie? Wait, what is this? Execution or Cho'Gath? Unless he's thinking about adding something else to this board, or like, I don't know, I guess if we hit Garantu or something. Is he actually thinking about Execution or Cho'Gath? I mean, it's kind of crazy, but I'm down for it. All right, let's level up here. We are just gonna level up to get the 4 Boombot in on the board. The idea being that, especially because we have Boombot Vex, it's just too much synergy to play any other unit on this board. You know, we had the Viego as a possibility, but like we don't care, and we are, yep, Execution or Cho'Gath. We just believe in the damage. He's actually holding this Bramble. His thought is like, we need to actually move one of these items over, but we're 27 HP. We need to save as much HP as possible. So he does not, he still doesn't end up slamming it. He says, you know what, like I'm going to say it's okay. We do lose that fight pretty hard, which is quite scary. And we do hit the Urgot at the last second. Oh my God here. All right, let's move items over. What is he gonna move? Shiv or Morello? Oh, he's actually gonna reforge this and he finds a red buff. Well, that's a little bit unfortunate, but I mean, you can move Shiv to just Kog'Maw on the back line. He's gonna be the safest unit to hold on to it, yeah. And then he spreads the red buff in Morello, just try to hit as many units as possible. This is the board that we beat last time though. Do we beat it again? I mean, we do have the Urgot 2 now. Oh my God, this fight's so close. We do win and eliminate them. Oh my God. Top 3 locked in. And now, I mean, we're 8 HP. We just have to, if the Zarya player, like if their clone fights someone else, then we just have to lose by less than this other player. I mean, we're 4 HP ahead, which is actually really like 5 HP ahead because we win the tiebreaker for HP. So we just got to kill as many units as possible here. I would even consider maybe changing your Vex position and just try to kill as many as possible, but we'll see here. We kill, I mean, that was like a 3 unit loss. Surely that's a top 2 for Mr. Latte here. No, the other player, oh my God, they must have fought like Jazlatte's clone or something like that. I mean, unfortunate. So it's only a 3rd for Jazlatte here, but still just a really cool game playing this line that I think people are just not that, people are not playing this line. People are not excited to play around this Cho'Gath unit, I feel like, and I do feel like it has a ton of potential. I mean, it did well this game. Great comp for farming these like middle placements when you kind of have like an awkward spot and you just have to convert it. You know, hard to beat obviously a Zarya 3 in these street demon boards. Like I'm not going to say that it's better than those comps, but definitely just a nice comp to have in your pocket when you have, you know, a blue buff made or you end up finding Vexes or stuff like that. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check my Twitch for Medify, all my other stuff down below. I guess I'll probably post this before the tournament because why not? I've recorded it before the tournament. I am playing in Attorney today, so go check me out on Twitch. The Ascension of the Ages, the first sub-regional in the Americas. Kai Watanabe is also in the tournament. A lot of other good players are in the tournament, or yeah, like a lot of good players are in the tournament. And then also my good friend is in the tournament as well. Like there's the good players are in the tournament. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks, bye.